Hello.
Oh, am I saying stuff or are you saying stuff?
Let's play it together. Greetings, everybody.
Greetings, everyone. Hello. As you can probably tell, we're a bit it's been a long day. I can't lie. It's been a long day for both of us, and we only got the show out 5 minutes ago because once again I forgot. But yeah, like Amanda, how are you today?
Honest, you want my honest opinion?
Always.
Okay. Honestly, I've had a long day too. Bit draining sometimes, but you know, it's nice to come back to comfort your home, see the dogs, speak to my friends like yourself, and slowly I'm building up. It's like putting on the heating. You know, I'm starting to feel good vibes again and feel a bit more energized. And hopefully, the guys in the comments will stir me up as well and get me excited and make me laugh as well. That's what we're here for. But you know, I just want to talk about a few things before we do the intro.
Sure.
First of all, over to you. How was your day? You said you were feeling a bit. You had a long day at work.
Yeah, a guy didn't. A guy didn't show today, and he sort of rang at 10 saying that he was ill, and fair enough. But it means that I actually have to do more work and get paid the same, which I'm not a fan of. And I've broken my toenail, so I was up quite late last night. And it's just them Mondays in February where it's cold and dark and stuff like that, and it takes a while to get going. But I always look forward to the Man United agenda when I'm at work. I think, I wonder what argument I'm going to have with Mr. B today and stuff like that. But I can't lie. I've only got animations today. I haven't had the time to put up old training things that I used to do.
No worries. No worries. Just quickly, I want to ask you, so when someone doesn't turn up at work, it's like playing with 10 men and people doing extra works, effort to cover things in that sort of way, isn't it? You'll have to do of like another guy is missing. And then I always think to myself, if someone gets sent off for the wrong reasons after the game, because I've had to put more work in, I'm going to have a go at them or say something to them. If it's for a fair reason or they're trying to do something or it's a mistake by the referee, I can let that go. But if someone's arguing or fighting or doing something stupid and lets the team down, I think that's by rights, everyone should have a go in the changing room.
Yeah, I am in agreement with that. I do have a mentality where I quite like my back to the wall and I quite like being the underdog. And I like bad odds because it gives me an opportunity to do better. If you know what I mean. Like it's everything in life's an opportunity. But in terms of I think I've talked about this a lot. My first season in Chile, as a team, we bottled the title. Like none of us had really any experience in the run in. We played it too safe and things like that. And I learned that you actually have to go the extra mile and things. But during that run in, a guy got sent off in a game that we drew. Yeah. And I mean, as you know, Monday, I can bear a grudge. Like that is no problems. I can keep a grudge going for years.
Yeah.
And the thing that I learned about that is that it's got to be done straight away, like in a changing room, and then it's got to be forgotten because I carried it on for about 2 weeks. Like, I didn't speak to the guy. I was so angry, it gnawed at me.
Why was he sent off? What was it? A fair thing? Was it a tackle? Was it arguing? Why was he sent off?
Well, he claimed that it was a poor pass from me that led to a 50-50 and he went in over the top. But we have very different recollections. I think he was ball watching. He took a bad touch and then he went over the top of the ball. It's a very common thing. Someone makes a mistake and dives in. And the other guy did him. He was rolling on the floor. His teammates were performing emergency CPR on him. Yeah. It's what you get in Latin America, isn't it?
So I think if some of your teammate does get a red card, I think the only thing that's acceptable for me is a referee getting it wrong, or you can see the tackle where you think it's a fair challenge, but the referee's seen it differently. Any other thing, if you're arguing the ref or you say the wrong thing, you get into a fight, I think you're letting your teammates down. I think you need to lose. I know a lot of people, I know a lot of players, you must know a lot of players as well, that see red and it takes them age to cool down. You hold a grudge for a long time, but some people hold that anger and rage for a long time, and it takes them ages to cool down, and sometimes they get themselves sent off, and you can see it coming. It's like Gaza to Lineker to the bench.
Yeah.
Gaza, keep an eye on him. He's going to lose it. That sort of thing. That's the sort of play I'm talking about. So with a lot of personalities, the last thing you want to do is let your teammates down and go down to 10 men. And I just think it's not acceptable in any way. I don't know about you guys in the comments. Is there any reason why you would accept a red card for someone taking one for the team? Maybe, I don't know.
Suarez, Solskjaer's going to get brought up against Newcastle. Like, that's acceptable. Like,
Suarez in the World Cup with the handball.
Yeah.
All right, you think that's acceptable for the team? Do you think they would have been all right with him?
Well, yeah, because he got them through to the semi-finals.
What about Zidane?
No, well, it's difficult because he kind of got them there. Are you talking about the headbutt?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, in the World Cup final. Imagine that. Jeez.
I think I would definitely bear a grudge about that. That's something that, because it's like, to be honest, it's a bit self-indulgent. Like when people like lose it and stuff like that and do something really stupid, like the goal kind of be able to justify it, and you never can. That's your point, really, isn't it? A bad refereeing decision or something like that. That's all right, And also, like, red card for a last man. If the guy thinks he can win the tackle and gets beaten and he gets sent off because he's fouled, like I'm actually all right with that most of the time, but I find a lot of the time, sometimes, like, I used to look around the changing room, there were one or two people on the team that, you'd bet your mortgage that they'd get a yellow. And you could tell before the game that they weren't in the right state of mind and things like that. And you're like, right, I've got to look after this guy today. And a
big one for me, just going back to red cards and reaction of teammates. What this Beckham documentary recently, with his red card was stupid, and I first time really heard players talk about it, and for players that it was their last World Cup and last opportunity, like Sol Campbell, a few of them, I could feel a bit of bitterness towards Beckham about that, because it's your whole World Cup. It's only once every 4 years, and in a career that spans 12 years, you're not going to get many other opportunities. So that red card for me, if I was his teammate, I would be fuming with him, regardless of him, it being, you could say the referee wasn't good enough or whatever to make that decision. Just quickly, I just want to say hi to Brees. To Brees, how you doing, man? You're supposed to be coming on with us. I don't know when, but where you at, man? Where you at? Just let me know when you're ready to come true, because I'd love to get on, especially tonight. Tonight would be perfect for you, to Brees. So if you're free, ask for the link and I'll send it to you. But yeah.
Everyone go and subscribe to the Amateur Football podcast as well. Like, I've seen bits and pieces. It's really good. Like, if you want to know, like, what grassroots football is really about, I mean, he doesn't. As far as I've seen, there's nothing about like someone's forgotten their kit, or someone's allergic to the detergent, or the van's broken down, or that time WhatsApp didn't work and the entire football network came down. But like, apart from that, you'll get a really good insight into what our lives are like on Monday, messing about at the weekends. But who else have we got in chat?
So we've got DK Wilson was the first man here, and he got a notification, obviously, because we started the show late, or it came up late. So he got a notification saying, the first one here, hey. And he said, big up to Bath Time on Monday, big up to you, DK. Shopping Solutions in the house, how you doing? Hello, evening, gents from United Philosophy. Go and subscribe to his channel. Fantastic. Hopefully see you soon. Stephanie Griffiths is bigging up everyone in the chat and on the panel as well. Hope you're doing well, Steph. Good evening to the Philosophy. Yes. Big up Andrew Williams. Always good to see you in the house. You know it's going to be bubbling with Andrew in the comments. And amateur football, yeah. Therese is one of the best centre-backs out there in amateur football. That's his name to claim. Claim to fame, excuse me. And I'll tell you a quick story. We played against him. He played for COP TV against Man United Agenda. And the first time I met him, and I realised in person, and I looked at him, I thought, oh my God, Caprice is a solid unit, and a bit of banter and everything. But at corner, I can usually go like that with a guy out my back of me and control him with one hand, And I felt Caprice on a corner, and I was stuck he kept me there like that. I couldn't move. You know, it was like he's so flipping strong. But great guy, great channel, guys. You should subscribe to Amateur Football Podcast. Yesterday they had a footballer on there with great. I can't remember what it was. There's so much going on in my head right now. But go and check out his content, guys. It's really, really good, and on TikTok as well. What's going on? King T'Challa is in the house. Evening, my loyal subjects.
Your Majesty. He's back.
And Dooms Booms is in the house as well. It's been a while. Hello and big up. Okay.
I don't recall Dooms Booms. Has he changed his username? Lovely to see you again. How have you been? What's been going on? All right.
Sorry. Can I just throw in something else?
Yeah, go on.
All right, just a quick one, because, you know, every day we do football content and all that. I saw a thing. Romario is one of my favourite players, and I just love the way he finishes the ball. Great technique.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best strikers. It doesn't really get talked about that much, you know, in my opinion.
In Latin America, he does.
Well, yes, definitely does. So there was a little video of him, and he was asked, "Where are you better than these players?" So they asked about Adriano. He said, "I'm better." Bebeto, I'm better. He said he was asked about Bebeto, Adriano, Rivaldo. He said he's better than Rivaldo. He said he's better than Zico, and I think that's close. And then it came to the big boys that we know of. And you know what? He said with Ronaldinho, he said it's a tie between him and Ronaldinho. With Ronaldo, he said R9 Ronaldo. He said Ronaldo is better than him.
It's not even close.
Well, he said he's just a bit better. He is better. And he said Messi is a tie. And he said Ronaldo, R7, whatever, Cristiano Ronaldo is a tie. The only two players that he put above him, there's two players in world football, the Romario, obviously he's from Brazil, obviously there's different cultures in South America. He had two players, and it wasn't being boastful. When you really think about it, he said, okay, I think I'm better than this guy. I'm thinking better. So he thinks he's equal with Ronaldinho, Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo. He reckons Ronaldo, R9. Sorry, he said he's tied with R9 as well. He said he's tied with R9. But there's two players. There's only two players he felt in world football that is better than him.
Pele and Garrincha.
No, Garrincha wasn't. So there's only two. So Garrincha wasn't mentioned, but Pele's one of them. Yeah. Can you think of the other guy he thinks is better than him?
I would love it to be El Mago, who no one knows in Europe. He was a Salvadorian player who it's not him, is it?
No, it's not. But I think I know you're talking about. Great dribbler who never really went to Europe. Well, he did go to Europe.
He went to Cadiz. No, he went to Cadiz, and he's the only player that Maradona has said is better than
same
him.
guy.
Yeah.
It
so wouldn't be
work out for him in Cadiz, did he? It was something about him being homesick, or his wife didn't like him.
No. So what happened? I believe, right? But this guy is he's a bit like I suppose, like in Latin America, he'd have the same reputation if you're of a certain age as Lee Trundle. Like everyone would know who Lee Trundle is, and they'd know clips and stuff. For those of you who are not watching, Andrew's probably going to shout at me because I think he played for Swansea, Lee Trundle, and he was like a second division player who had the sort of the skills and flair of Ronaldinho. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but every week you see a clip from the lower leagues of this guy doing the most outrageous stuff. But El Mago used to mess about in the south of Spain, and he's go and look him up. He's unbelievable. It's like it will be like seeing Maradona for the first time, how he moves and stuff like that. And he went on a trip with Barcelona because he had terrible personal problems, completely unprofessional. And he and Maradona got pissed up, and Maradona set the fire alarm off in the hotel, and El Mago took the blame. And because of that, he wasn't signed for Barcelona. They put him on trial. But like honestly, go and look up El Mago. Like you'll see a whole new world of like Latin American football. He's often regarded as the greatest player produced from Latin America, more than Maradona, more than Pele. It's an absolute dream to watch him play.
You knew more details. I do remember seeing that, but yeah, you had far more knowledge on him than me today. Just quickly, I want to say to Brice, I just quickly dropped it on your Instagram message. I hope that's all right, because I'm a bit stuck because I'm on the show to send it anywhere else. But hopefully you can get that, pick up the link from your Instagram message right now, and then you can jump on. So just go to Grincha, says Andrew Williams. He's asking. You still haven't answered the question though. Who is the other guy? You said
it couldn't be Edmundo because they hate each other.
Two players in world football. He said he's tying with Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, R9. He's tying with Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi.
Right. So
he's ahead of Zico, ahead of Rivaldo, ahead of Bebeto, and ahead of Adriano. They're just the names are given out. He says there's only two players he reckons ever that are better than him.
Right. Can I give you three and we'll see? Right. I'm going to take a punt on Neymar.
No, he said he's better than Neymar. Sorry, that was another one.
Okay. Jairzinho?
No.
Gerson?
No, it doesn't have to be Brazilian, but
Scott McTominay.
You got it one.
I've no idea.
One. Gotta check this guy out in the videos bath time.
Booms has got the right one. Magical. That's what they call him in Spain. Magical Gonzalez. But he's El Mago to me.
Okay. Zidane, says Andrew Williams. It wasn't Zidane. My brother's obviously seen it today on my thing. It's Maradona.
Maradona, of course.
And Pele. So those are the only two players that Romario say is better than him. And when you're that good, bath time, you got to have a bit. It's not arrogance. It's just confidence, belief in yourself, isn't it? To know.
Yeah.
To know, stop that. I'm better than this guy on my best day. I'm sure you played against some players. And think, all right, he's good, but I think I'm better than him. Even though
obviously, like Danny Ings will think he's better than Michael Owen or something like that, and he'll believe it. I mean, I'm very interested though that he's put Pele there because, like in Brazil, they think the greatest player is Garrincha, like most of them would. And we got Tabrice in the house.
Here's Tabrice.
Look at that. It's like a big
hello, coming in.
Good evening.
Best centre back in amateur football, in grassroots football. Is that right?
That was a couple of years ago. I've kind of fallen off, just like Harry Maguire.
All right. No, we're not here later, Brice, but yeah.
Right. I'm really pleased we got two centre backs on, and we've already brought up Harry Maguire because. So, to Brice, have you seen this before? The eye test.
The eye test.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
No.
So what we normally do, but I've had a bad day, so we haven't done it today. Is I animate sections from a football match, and we go through it, and it's all about Manchester United versus Wolves. But one of the big ones is what on earth is going on with our centre backs, because I'm very confused about the movements that they make off the ball in possession, and I'm very interested to see what you guys think about this. So unless there's any, and Amonde, have you got any more sort of like 1980s Brazilian cult heroes?
No. I just want to ask Tabrice just to introduce yourself, Tabrice, because I don't think you jump on now and then in the comments, but you're not really known to our audience. So just give them a rundown what you do, about your channel or your social medias, and your footballing little summary about your football career.
Wow. Okay. I'll try and sum up in about a minute. So yeah, honestly, thank you so much for having me on. My name is Tabrice, and the founder of a platform called The Amateur Footballer, and you can find it on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and I'm also on TikTok as Tabrice C. And the platform was, when I first started it, it was literally kind of documenting my own journey. I've kind of been in I'd say like a few academies back in Leeds, and when I moved to London, I thought, let me kind of document my journey here. And hey, I wasn't going to make it pro, but it was kind of more for a keepsake for my kids. And that was about 6-7 years ago. And as we kind of speak now, it's kind of transformed into something completely different, where I kind of talk to footballers from the elite stage all the way down to the grassroots, about their journeys, about the struggles, their successes, and also as well, I kind of get people in that's kind of been part of I'd say like a kind of sporting club that are doing amazing things on social media. So yeah, that's kind of just, I'd say that the platform in itself. And for myself, kind of started off as a left winger, and I was I was kind of pretty good. I was kind of blessed to actually be on a estate, the same as Aaron Lennon, his brother Anthony Lennon, Ashley Burgess, Ricky Kane. So actually, there's a kind of few of them that have kind of made it into like the pro game. So yeah, that's the kind of my football history. And like now I play vets. I'm a centre back now. I still enjoy playing football. It's kind of something that I'm just not going to stop doing. And yeah, I just want to kind of highlight the amazing work that, again, the volunteers do, at vets, at open age, even at Little League. Every single person has an amazing story. So yeah, that's really what the platform's about, and that's what I'm about as well.
You a Leeds fan?
So you've got the accent. So yes, I was born in Nottingham. I moved to Leeds when I was about 4 or 5. I was in Leeds from about 5 until 18, Leeds to London. But to answer your question, I'm a Liverpool fan.
I guess even better, isn't it? No, it's good. I did hear the accent, but it's when you mentioned Aaron Lennon in particular.
Yes.
What a brilliant professional that man has been. Like,
100.
Really kept. Like, was it Burnley he was at last in the Premier League?
Yeah, so it was Burnley, and of course, like he's been very open with his
mental health,
personal issues as well. So
very
I know that there was very open. So I know a few of our like friends that literally that are kind of still in contact with him, and again, I will kind of keep this absolutely transparent with you. When Aaron used to play with us, so she, I'm okay. So I was about 15, and he must have been about 7 or 8. And like he's kind of always been small, but very, 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 very quick. And what we used to do as a kind of collective on the estate, we would always ask his dad Winston just to look out for him, because he's kind of playing with the big boys. So we didn't want to kind of injure him or whatnot, but we knew that he was good. But I didn't think he was gonna go on to kind of do the amazing stuff like he achieved. But again, he was always out. He was always out with his dad. Anthony used to play for Manchester United as well. He was on Manchester United's books. So they've kind of always had a sporting, I'd say, kind of caliber in the family. But yeah, Aaron and his brother are like definitely well like thought of in like Leeds, and I know that he does a lot of work as well in the kind of local area as well. So yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, it's so important, community. Like we talk about it a lot on this channel about community football clubs and stuff. And when you talk about like looking after him, like you're like 8 years older at the time, and everyone's watching out for him. I always wondered about another player that was around at the same kind of time called Jermaine Pennant, who was similar level of talent. He was like Britain's most expensive teenager or something. Never got anywhere near to his potential. And Aaron Lennon was one of those players who, like, he had some setbacks and things, but he kept going. He was professional. He looked after himself. And, a bit like sort of Milner and Barry and people like that, played really far. He played for a very long time in his career. And it's down to diet and mentality and things. And I always think that comes back to upbringing, community, and like being able to motivate yourself. So well done, Tabrice. You got him going to his mid-30s.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, I mean, I like definitely echo exactly what you said. Every time I kind of come home from and I've I'd say an event or whatever it's been, and literally when I'm kind of on my high horse, my family quickly put me right back down to earth, which is literally what I need. And literally that's kind of what I'd say a lot of people need in this kind of day and age. Really, like a strong network that are going to be transparent with everything that you do, good, bad, and the ugly.
I just want to add just about Lennon here. We've got a few comments. Dooms Booms is saying Leonard, Sugar Ray. It's he's sweet though. He's sweet. Aaron Lennon is saying is a thunderbolt, and he was blessed with pace, wasn't he? You think players with pace, once they lose that, they might not be effective in the game. But he was just too rapid. Even when he lost a bit, he could still rip anybody. Dooms Boom is saying that whenever Lennon comes at a fullback, it's always like, see you later, knock it past him. Want to say hi to Mateo. I don't know what you're doing in Toronto. You were in Miami last time we spoke, but you're obviously getting up
it's like
and down.
Pitbull, isn't it? It's just going everywhere.
I go where I want.
Yeah.
Like Lassie, littlest homo, isn't it? Dooms Boom saying here, another one with unfulfilled potential will be Sean Wright Phillips, who he feels should have done a bit more in the game. But tonight, we're here to talk about tactics. We're here to do the eye test show. It's great to have you on. As Bath Time was saying, Bath Time's got some animations, and we're going to go through them to Brees and just sit back, relax, and let's just enjoy the ride, because obviously it's Man United we're talking about, but it's football, same way. And the animation won't really, it could be anybody. It could be your Sunday side, for example. By the way, how did you get on the weekend?
I shouldn't ask.
I heard Dr. Pryor say something this morning, so I shouldn't ask. How bad was it?
You know what? I mean, I have to take full responsibility of my own preparation. I got there late, and it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. So,
punctuality is very important to this.
Honestly,
bro, if you've got Rise in your name, you've got to get up earlier.
But no, it was, and again, I kind of take pride in like my performances, and I'm very, very honest. But Sunday is one of those games we shouldn't really talk too much about.
Okay, let's get on with a winning game from Manchester United then.
All right. I'm going to change the running order, but I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a clip, and Amonde is going to talk you through it, and then we're gonna go through. Is Amonde? Am I up on screen?
You're up. Can you go a bit larger?
No, it's large already.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, that's right. Now you're large.
All right. This is the 50th minute. This is in the second half. And Shaw is on the ball. So talk us through this, Amanda.
Okay, so Shaw's got the ball. He squares it to Maguire, plays it back to Dello, and it's recycled all the way back to Onana, who holds up the play here, and this squares it left to the centre back Martinez, who carries it forward, pops it off. I know he plays it into Rashford. He plays a 1-2. Shaw. He gets the ball back and drives into the box, it looks like, and plays it wide. So slow it down again. It comes from Onana. A lot of movement there from Maguire. He's gone up to right back. Dello's gone centre back. So Martinez carries the ball forward until he's closed down. He plays it into Rashford. He plays it out wide. Gets the return here. He drives at Zuma and he's hit it wide. I don't remember this move in the match, but
do you not remember Rashford taking a wild shot?
Oh, is that the wild shot? I didn't think it.
Well, he had two. He had two wild shots.
Right.
This is the first one. I am such an amateur that I don't have my pen. So just excuse me for 1 second whilst I get my pen up. You can see that we're super professional here, Tabrice. Tabrice, looking at this, did you watch the game yesterday?
You're muted, Tabrice.
All right. Well, let us know.
Sorry. Apologies. Yes. No, I didn't watch the United game.
All right. Well, should we go through this then?
Yes, please. Yeah.
All right. So we've got Shaw out here, and like United have sort of like, let's just say that they've halved the pitch. All defensive structures work best when the pitch is narrow. And even when you're in attack, you want to be thinking about defense. So what you have here by narrowing everything is a counter press structure. So if Shaw plays the ball into this area here, there's enough men here to hopefully win the ball back, and you can see that we've got a kind of +1 here, or even a +2 if we lose the ball. So this is relatively promising. Shaw, he passes it infield to Maguire, which is all right, but West Ham have got a very good block and there's pressure on. So Maguire pops it back to Dalot. Dalot plays the way he's facing, hits it to Onana, and Bowen's done well here. Because, well, you know, ideally you'd want Bowen just a little bit more on that side to cut this half of the pitch off. But Bowen's done fine here. And what you're going to be looking for here, you would normally think, is Dalot to make a support run out here and Alejandro Garnacho to drop a bit, maybe Kobe to run in behind there. But, you know, we all, you know, we've been through this so many times, you know, the basics. But this is crazy to me, and this happens all the time from United. Maguire makes that run there to go into right back. Okay. Now, the reason why he's done it, I think, right, this is 100% a tactical instruction. This isn't like Harry Maguire has decided that, you know, Forrest Gump and he's just having a runabout. Like, I'm joined with two centre-backs. Tabrice, do you hate running as much as Amonde does?
Hence the reason why I moved from left winger to centre.
Yeah. So I think that what is happening here is that Maguire has made that run there because he's trying to pull Kudus out of the block and open up a passing lane to Kobe Mainoo.
Right.
That's what I think it's about. But Onana, right, this is actually quite good from Onana. And I know that we're always making fun of Onana, but he's identified that Bowen hasn't shut the angle down enough. And we're able to move out. And then here, got a nice big hole. And in this little section of the pitch, because like we don't want to think about the pitch as a whole, we want to think about it as areas. It's even defending, basically. So when you're even, you can't commit. Like you can't sell yourself, because if you sell yourself, you're a player down, and it's not good. So Monday, we always try and carry when it's even defending, because the other team are basically going to give up space instead of like going aggressively and jumping. So Martinez, excellent player. He understands this. He drives. And now this is really, really cool. Okay. Rasmus and Rashford, I'm absolutely fine with this. They're not quite there yet on their timings and their movement. It takes a long time. But we're setting up a third man combination. So the third man combination here is this move here, right? Where Martinez is going to drop it to Bruno, and Bruno's going to drop it back to Shaw. And the reason that this is so effective is that as opposed to a half turn, which is a very risky thing to do, what you're going to do is you're going to get a bloke driving forwards, like he's going to receive the ball with the entire pitch in front of him. Oh, that's why third man combinations are deadly, because you're giving a player space and he doesn't have to turn.
Right.
So that goes through. Martinez pops it to Bruno. Rashford is now, what's this, Amonde?
The channel.
Yes. The space between the fullback and the centre-back is the channel. Rashford's going to run the channel. Third man combination.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
And then here, what I really like about this is we've got an overload forming here. And even though it's 1v1, overloads can be all sorts of things. They can be a height advantage, a pace advantage, a numbers advantage. But here, this is a space advantage, because Palmieri and Aguerd are going to have to run backwards here.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that when the ball comes in, if they're moving, they've got to adjust and so on. So this is very uncomfortable to defend here. And, you know, Rasmus can peel off, Garnacho can go in, etc., etc. Or they can both make this run here. Souček is going to want to get into that space. And Kobbie Mainoo is ahead of these three guys here. So they're out of it. And he can arrive into this area here, which is called Zona 14 or Zone 14. And then, yeah, exactly. Rashford takes a 1v1 and misses his shot. But it's still the most interesting thing to me in all of this is Maguire's, is this coaching from Ten Hag. Because I don't like it. I don't like my centre-backs getting ahead of the ball, to be honest, when they don't need to. So Fabrice, I'll play this again and like talk me through what you see or what you think's unusual or what you think's good.
Wow. So as you could have said before, Maguire kind of playing out of position. The thing that I noticed first was how Martinez literally broke the line with his ball to Bruno, and of course Bruno to Shaw, and of course Rashford with the miss. But I mean, it's kind of very kind of interesting in terms of how Martinez, for me, probably Man United's best defender, and like he can always play on the half turn. You know, and you know, a lot of the play, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but with the matches and the clips that I've seen, a lot of United's best play comes through Martinez more than anyone else.
Well, I mean, I would say it's Scott McTominay, but I think that's fair enough. One thing I would like to say, though, is I absolutely hate the emphasis that people now place on the half turn. Right, the half turn is incredibly situational, especially when building up from the back. What you want to be doing, right, is you want to be supporting more than worrying about the half turn. So here, for example, social media would say that ball into Kobbie is fine because Kobbie can go on the half turn. That's a suicide ball if you play that, right? So what you actually want is you want Dalot to create a support angle for Onana, and you want Garnacho to drop into that space. Preferably, if I'm being exact, you would want Kudus coming there, and you'd want Garnacho to be slightly behind. So if that ball is played in there, you don't need to half turn. You can play as a pivot and just play it at a 45-degree angle. This is why, like Therese, you know, I'm a number 6 basically, and I will kill a fullback if they get ahead of me and build up, because I don't want to play a pass like in front of me. I want to play it behind me or straight, because it's an easier pass to make. You don't want the player in the wide area getting out here, because that pass is a hell of a lot harder than that pass.
Yeah.
Right. And then another example of why I hate the half turn, well, not hate the half turn, but I think it's overrated, is that the third man combination, so 1, 2, 3, it accomplishes the same thing, and it's much safer. So here, like Bruno's going to play a bounce pass, and Shaw is not ahead of Bruno, and he's also level with Rashford. So if that ball goes into Rashford, Rashford can play an easy pass inside there, and if it goes to Bruno, like that's a tricky pass, but you can put your foot on the ball, wait for Kufal to get his angle wrong, and play it through. But the key thing is, right, is half turns work best in these areas, because you're at like these they're less dangerous. You don't want to be doing half turns in these kind of areas here. But Therese, you are right, is that Martinez can move like a number 10. It's absolutely ridiculous for a centre half, but he's small, he's got a low centre of gravity, and it can get him out of trouble. But this is one of the most encouraging things I've seen for a while, because these 4 players here are doing something you rarely see, which is a 4th man run. where Rashford is breaking through the channel when it comes through. So look at that. It's a double third man combination. And then I'm all right with Rashford doing this here. He's a top player. Zuma, he's a decent defender. He's very strong. He's very physical. But I always think, I never think he's on his tippy toes. Like, you know what I mean? I think you can manipulate his balance here. And the other thing is just holding him up here. You've got the Shaw can make that run here. Bruno can get in here. Kobe can get in here. And I think that instead of just putting your foot on the ball and waiting, Rashford commits his man. So he should be in control of the situation. And, you know, his technique lets him down. Should be going Belfast. But I'm going to pause it there before we go on to the next clip. And has anyone got any comments on Monday? Where
not necessarily related. Oh, there is a couple related to this. So wild shots are Rashford's speciality these days. I can't recall it, but seeing the animation, I do kind of get an idea that he messed up there. There was maybe a decision-making issue where he could have, if he had two guys driving in like Garnacho and Haaland there, they would have been disappointed because, you know, it was probably a good opportunity. But he was on fire at the moment, so I can imagine so. I remember that one from Rashford says, DK Wilson, I noticed Maguire looking like he ran and hid, so he couldn't receive the pass. So there's another option. It was a bit bizarre to me. I thought at first you had Dalot and Maguire switched up or mixed up a bit. But if it is Maguire going out there, I can't fathom why.
I asked you about this yesterday on Monday. Like I said, like Martinez does it as well. Why are defenders? So, right, when DK Wilson says he looks like he runs and hides, this is something, right, that social media who haven't like received coaching or played football at an organized standard will always say that players are hiding when what they're really doing is they're getting behind and between and they're pinning players centrally to allow progression in different areas.
Why would the centre back do that? That's my issue.
Well, because right, I agree with you. I don't understand it, and it happens a lot, but I think it's to clear a passing lane in the centre of the pitch. Because you see Maguire going out wide, you know, your Souček or someone like that, you follow him. I think it's a way of trying to open the block. I think it's madness myself. I think it's far too high risk, high reward. But Therese, like, if you were being instructed to do this as a centre back, I mean, what are you saying?
I mean, I would feel very, very uncomfortable. As a kind of centre back now, anything over the halfway line, I literally get a nosebleed. So I would kind of like to kind of have that. I'll say like the solid base of course, my kind of centre back partner, the goalkeeper, and either the left or right back, depending on where we're attacking, to actually be in close proximity. So then literally we can instruct our number 6 or literally position ourselves in a way where if for whatever reason there's a kind of quick turnover, we are in the best position to put out that fire.
So the technical term for this, and something that I have struggled with all my life, is countermarking, where when you're young and a bit like Tabriz, I started off as a left winger, but then it turned out having a massive arse and not being able to run fast means that you have to go and play in the centre of the pitch. You want to get space. So when someone's on the ball, like the rule of thumb is you either get closer to the ball or you get further away. So you either go looking for space in wide areas or you come to support. But you also have to be aware that even when you're in possession, you're responsible for a man. So you can't get too far away from a man in case the ball gets turned over. Yeah. And I find it crazy what is going on because I don't know. I'm going to do this. It was a guy called Carnot in the French Revolution who ended up inventing a steam engine, a theoretical steam engine. And he made this perfect steam engine, right? It didn't lose energy. It didn't, it was 100% efficient. But what he didn't take into consideration is that moving parts create friction and loss. Yeah. And so I think it's absolutely fine to rotate in the final third, and occasionally you'll be out of, someone will be out of position for the counter press because you have that rest defense structure behind you to protect it. But to do this in defense, to make rotations like this, I think it's far too high risk in case, as we saw against West Ham a couple of last month, what if the ball just rolls under someone's foot, or someone takes a bad pass or makes an error? You've got Maguire at right back on the same line as Dalot, with Kudus, one of the fastest and most dangerous players in the Premier League, completely free. I think that this is. I think that Ten Hag is a sort of, I don't know. I think he's a championship manager. Like it's all in his head and it's all perfect and no one ever makes a mistake. When you've got to be more practical,
isn't that like total football, the Dutch way, where you can rotate positions? So he's gone out there to Dalot's position to drag a guy out, and Dalot sat back in centre back. Dalot wasn't irresponsible. Said,
what did they win?
Space. He stayed in. Dalot's covered Maguire's position, but it's a bit like I'm with Tabriz. As a centre back or defence, you want to have to play in front of you. You don't want to be caught out like that, because if something does go wrong, people might be pointing things with, what are you doing up there, or what, you can't get back. It's kind of like dangerous play, in my opinion. I'd have to see it again to really there's no logic behind it for me anyway. And Brees said the same thing.
For me, as a central midfielder as well, I don't want my fullback rotating when that's always my out. My 45-degree pass. I don't want that. And also on Monday, total football never won anything. Do you know what I mean? One of the greatest collections. Now,
3 Champions Leagues in a row for Ajax, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So can I just quickly touch on this, because there's comments coming through. DK was saying, bath time, if Maguire goes wide earlier, he drags the defender with him, leaving room for Kobe and allows Garnacho to be upfield for a pass. Instead, it seems like he drew an extra defender to Kobe. And Emma's saying here, hi Emma, it seems like we're trying to get ultra movable defense, but we're a bit shit at it.
I love Emma's Viking mentality to stuff. I think it's great. Look, I think all of us have played football at good levels and things like that, and it's very confusing to us what we're seeing. I often feel really lucky that my football education was out in Latin America, and that kind of football has become the standard now. But this is something that I've never seen, and I fear what I haven't seen.
So I would literally love to get everyone's opinion, because of I'd say the new style of play at United. Does that now cause Harry Maguire to actually look a lot more vulnerable and more exposed because he's playing in a kind of different role? Because I don't think Harry Maguire is a bad quote unquote defender. But now we're asking centre backs to be like a hybrid, right back and right wingers now. So yeah, I'd actually love to get people's opinion about that.
Well, yeah. First, I'll just say I think what we see with Maguire, one of his good qualities, he's good on the ball, isn't he, Tabriz? He carries the ball really well. So, but it's easier when you're carrying the ball from the back and you've got everything in front of you. You can decide. But putting him in areas like that where he has to get the ball, and there's someone on his back, someone could pinch him. I think that's kind of dangerous, and you're not familiar with that. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say he can't master that, because we've seen players like John Stones play in those positions and be quite comfortable, and then fullbacks are doing it now, playing inverted into midfield. So I think today, like you're saying, in today's game, you need to have a bit more about you. You can't just say, I'm a Tony Adams, I win my headers and I crash it. I'm not saying that's his game, Tony Adams, but do you see what I'm saying? You like you said, you especially you need to have a bit more about you. So if you are in a certain position in the midfield, for example, you need to be able to be comfortable. Otherwise, people will target you.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 things. Okay, Tabriz, didn't see the game, but yesterday, very early on in the second half, Harry Maguire got pinched in the right back position. I don't like. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I like remember watching the highlight. Well, I kind of watched the highlights, but it wasn't the full game. But I remember he got pinched.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's at right back, isn't it? He's far too
yeah,
wide. Like like most teams, what you're used to is that centre backs are a little bit wide. So because obviously in defence you want to be narrow, in attack you want to be wide because there's more space in it. So like your centre backs will go to the edge of the box or something, but there's still an element of we always talk about. Have you seen that film Final Destination?
Yeah.
No, I know you
yes,
have. I'm
yes,
asking three. Right. So in Final
yes.
Destination, death is after you. You go into a B&Q, there's knives, there's screwdrivers, and you're like, I shouldn't be here. This is a dangerous place to be because you're aware of potential danger. With Ten Hag, it's like he's not aware of potential danger and he's only looking at how to score, basically. So he does things like puts Maguire in a right back position when I like Maguire as a footballer and a defender, but it's like asking, I don't know, like it's like asking a duck to drive a bus. A duck is very good at a lot of stuff, but driving a bus ain't one of them. So why are you putting someone in that position to do it? Do you know what I mean? Have you ever been like, you ever got your Oyster card out on Monday and seen a duck driving a bus? No, because it's
Fabrice, can I ask you a question then on that? Do you reckon you could play? You
Yeah.
play centre back, and you say your legs are going now, whatever. But you've got good technique. You've got good technique.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon you could play in a midfield role if you had to fill in those sort of tight areas
Oh,
and play football there?
oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've also been deployed as a number 6 and also as a fullback as well.
Okay.
So for like me, being comfortable on the ball is pretty natural to me, you know. And literally, I'm not going to say that I'm Pirlo or like someone that can just dictate the game, you know.
Don't do yourself
but
down.
no, but no, I can, you know, I can kind of find a pass if I kind of need to, but also I also believe that defenders are there to defend, and you know, again, they are the kind of comprehensive insurance that, you know, every single team needs.
Okay.
You know, and I like also believe in when it's kind of time to clear your lines, you do, and then you reset and you get everyone back in position.
Just to add, I think when you play in defence a lot of the time, you're responsible for the ball and you're accountable if you give the ball away. So when you do go into a higher position like midfield, you bring those attributes with you, I suppose, where you're going to make sure you use the ball really well and don't lose it. It's just in your mindset, isn't it? It's in your psyche not to lose the ball. So I think a lot of defenders that do like to breeze, I'm sure if you went into, like you said, play DM or in the midfield role, you would definitely shield the ball, keep it simple and keep it ticking over.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, and you know, and I think as like everyone said that, like, you know, like the number 6 for me is the person that snuffs out the danger, or can literally at least is looking 2 or 3 phases ahead of play to like see possibly where like the danger could actually
Final
be.
destination.
So like, have final destination. So so yeah, you know, I think you know, having that kind of that defensive mindset definitely puts you in a good stead when you kind of looking at players to actually play in that very pivotal role in the team.
And just before we get to the comments on Monday, I'd just like to say that like one of the great like sort of tenets of football to me is there are no defenders and there are no attackers. There are units. You defend as a team, you attack as a team, and everyone needs to have seen Final Destination. They need to know that there's danger, so they need to go and support their mate. They need to create that angle so that there is a pass. And of course, you're going to have to clear your lines at some times and get back and be organised. And that's an individual responsibility. But as a team, you have a collective responsibility to look after the ball. If someone's on the ball and they don't have the pass, that isn't their fault. It's the team's fault. So everyone has to defend and attack as a team. You've got to track back, you've got to support. We've got some good comments.
Yeah, most certainly. Jeff's in the house. How you doing, Jeff? He said, I want to give a heartfelt thanks for the great support I've received and to reassure you that I'll be back out there soon. and we'll fight together, always united. Thank you, Jeff. And obviously,
that's what Licha Martinez has said on Monday. That's not Jeff.
Oh,
he's quoting.
Coming back from injury, isn't he? I thought it was about Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. All right. Okay. Yeah, I see now. I see what you've done. Emma is saying here, as someone who's come into football later in life, nowadays it seems like top players can play multiple positions. Like you have multiple knowledge about positions if you want to win. Good point. We're seeing that with top sides, aren't they? Yes. Forgive me. It's the butcher you're talking to. Big up Eddie Football for going to subscribe to his channel. He's saying big up to Bath Time on Monday and the guest. His guest is Amateur Football. Go and subscribe to him. It's Tabrice and said big up to everyone in the chat as well. Kate Cadet is in the house. So does this mean Bath Time is Ten Hag out there? And he's teasing. Matteo saying, I now get what Bath Time's kind of saying. I think he's actually right about Ten Hag being a danger, ignorant. You could say he goes back to his Champions League semi-final against Spurs days when they were in cruise control and they threw it all away. Good point, Matteo. DK Wilson, I'm learning football tactics, so I listen to pros a lot. I like in the game to basketball 10 players, 2 sets of fives with primarily responsibilities on each side of the halfway line, working in concert. So obviously DK Wilson's from America. He loves basketball as well. And
he's also, sorry, Monday. DK Wilson was quite a high-level individual athlete. Like he played tennis to quite a high level, so wow. he's learning more about team as opposed to what it takes to be an athlete. So I think that's it. We're all about education. DK Wilson, like that's really good.
Big up DK Wilson. Eddie Football for saying, that sucks, Jeff. Hopefully it won't slow Martinez down like Van Dijk. Obviously, we've got a big injury now, haven't we? And DK Wilson saying, what you just said about the team responsibilities, exactly, capital letters, what I'm talking about. Primary responsibilities in concert with team responsibilities as well. Doom booms. Tactics always get recycled, just like anything else. Potion. Today is potion. So potion today is tomorrow's potion.
Poison.
He said potion there, isn't it?
No, today's cure is tomorrow's.
Oh, poison. Sorry, I saw two potions. All right, let's move on. You got slides.
All right. Yeah, no, I don't have slides. I've got loads of clips. But okay. Would you prefer to see good defending or kind of more crazy centre back play in possession?
Tabrice, you can have this one.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let's kind of go with the crazy.
Okay. All right. You want to see crazy stuff? All right.
Sometimes crazy is unexplainable. We can't break this down. We've got to know what's going on. Even Jeff saying he wants to see crazy, but let's do it then.
You want to see crazy?
Okay. Let's see it.
Okay. This is probably the longest segment that I have ever animated, and I didn't even do it all because I got bored. But let's see if this works. Entire screen. All right. Let me know when we're up.
Yep. Enlarge. Nice.
Okay. This is the 37th minute, and I'm on the, I'll do it afterwards. Talk us through this. Maguire's on the ball.
Okay, so Maguire's got the ball, set it back in the back three, pops into Kobe. Kobe, nice pass back to Dalot, splits it. Dangerous ball, I think, to Martinez. And left centre back. Martinez gets held up a bit, so he plays it into Dalot, makes a good run centrally. Bruno gets it with his back to goal, pops it off again where he's facing. Out to Casemiro, who's in left midfield position, plays it around the corner to Bruno, plays it back home. Maguire's got it, squares it to Martinez, does a good run again, and attacks the space. And there's a ball in by Casemiro, gets cut out, but Bruno looks like he's picked up the ball again, and we start again.
I'll just play it like one more time. Like, Tabrice, feel free to jump in here on what you're saying.
Okay, well, I'm seeing Danilo coming into the centre mid spot, so of course United are slightly lopsided. Who's that person on the right hand side? I'm not too sure who the person on the right hand side is.
Garnacho.
It's got his name.
Garnacho. So I can't see because I'm literally on my phone. So okay. Yeah. So literally, apologies. But no. For me, it looked like a lot of every single phase of play was just happening down your left. No one kind of really had the awareness to actually look and see Garnacho free on the right. and yeah, that'd be quite problematic for like me as a centre back anyway.
Yeah, interesting you say that. All right, Amonde, do you have anything to add, or do you want me to break this down?
Well, you said crazy, so yeah, I think Fabrice has sort of hinted on that a little bit, because yeah, they maybe should have recycled the ball and sprayed it out to the spare man. I think Maguire held it up a little bit too long. I don't know what. Let's hear what you got to say, because I still don't know for sure.
All right, I'll just let this clip play out, right? Okay, so here I like this because we have something called the U, right? So from Shaw, Martinez, Maguire, and Dalot, if everyone is technically competent, you shouldn't lose the ball here, and you're able to get it to like central and wide areas on both sides of the pitch. This is a standard Premier League thing. So you have that diamond there that can recycle. You got outs here. You got an out there. But this is the first time I've seen United try and move a block. So it gets played through to Kobe from Maguire. That's a third man combination, with the idea that Dalot is then able to go, and you'd expect Garnacho to hit a wide area, Bruno to make the channel run, and then all the stuff that we've seen before. But United don't do this. When it gets to Dalot, he puts his foot on the ball. I think that is the pass to play. He doesn't. He switches it to Martinez. So what's going to happen here is West Ham's block is going to move over, and Garnacho is going to hold the wide area to be the out ball. And with a player of Martinez's quality, you're going to expect something like that. Okay, that's what we've seen all season from Man United. Martinez gets the ball, he puts his foot on it, has a little look about. There's nothing really there. Maguire, I think that this is a mistake, because here you've got that out to Onana. I think that Maguire should go out here. He doesn't. Martinez, comfortable on the ball, has a look around. Dalot makes this move here. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get behind and between these two here. So this is a perfectly fine run, but it's very surprising to see Martinez take that choice. Casemiro moves into a wide area, and a bit like how Maguire moved into a wide area, I do not like my pivot moving out into a wide area there. But I think what he's hoping is that James Ward-Prowse goes, and then Martinez can play it to Bruno.
Right.
And here, Bruno is, let's just say he's behind and in between. But here's an opportunity where you can half turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you half turn, you assume that that's the next ball. So this is all right, to be honest. But that is a terrible ball from Dalot.
Like, you can only play one way, really.
Well, look, Casemiro, to be fair to him, because he's a pivot, he understands he can't get ahead. So there's that ball in there. But really, that ball there is the only one you've got, and you're going backwards. The block has worked. You can't hit Kobe. Kobe's too far ahead. He can't half turn between Alvarez. Yeah, exactly. he can't half turn there. This is a bit of a suicide ball. He plays it to Martinez, and finally, Maguire begins to make the move. But now you've got that. You've got that, which isn't a great U shape. What you would want to see here is you'd want to see Kobe getting into that position there. But we play it back to Casemiro, and what we're trying to do, like Fabrice was talking about how we're compacting the play on the left-hand side, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what we have here is a pretty good counter-pressing structure, to be honest. Like everyone here is able to get on their man and cut out passing lanes and stuff. and we have an out ball here. So we should be in control of this situation, but the support angles aren't great because Casemiro's got that pass there. He doesn't have that pass there. I think Martinez should be there. I think Onana should actually be here. And I think Maguire should be over here. So then Casemiro plays a stupid ball. Like it's absolutely ridiculous, the ball that he plays. He plays it in between two guys to a guy who is man-marked, and Bruno is facing towards Casemiro.
Right.
Shaw is too far ahead, even though that looks like an easy ball. No professional footballer is going to play that ball because that is just an invitation to losing the ball. So what does Bruno do? He does incredibly well and just fires it to Maguire. And here, you want Dalot getting into this area here, Garnacho getting here, Kobe running a channel, maybe Rasmus dropping deep. Like, there's lots of little rotations that you can do. But what actually happens, Rasmus makes a very poor run, in my opinion. And the reason it's a poor run is because he should see if Kobe is running the channel.
Right.
Just inexperience. It's not terrible play. And Dalot, once again, has done really well by getting out here. Because what he's kind of doing is he's tempting Kudus in here. And if Kudus goes, we can play the ball into Kobe. And as Garnacho sees Kudus go, Garnacho's going to get into a support angle here, I hope. But what actually happens is Maguire, he bottles it, in my opinion. He switches it out.
It's because he's right-footed.
Well, maybe, but also I don't like this position from Casemiro. Casemiro's got to get back here. Yeah. And then Casemiro, he plays a stupid ball, and we're very, very lucky that Souček's got a bad touch. But just here, when this ball goes out here to Bruno and he plays it back, this is where in the game Bruno and Casemiro started shouting at each other, and I'm 100% with Bruno. But I just thought that this is all really weird. Like, I know that they're trying to manipulate the block, but I think it's done really poorly. I think a lot of it is down to Casemiro. And I also think quite a lot of it is down to Maguire not getting into the right positions and Martinez being a little bit too aggressive. Because if I stop it here, when we talk about behind and between, I want Martinez backing off here because I want Bowen to follow him. Because what Bowen's got to do is he's got to get himself in between these here, and that creates a passing option to Casemiro. And then he can bang it to Martinez, and we can hit the third man here. But Martinez does the same thing that Maguire does, right? He makes a move forward here. This is crazy. That ball there is absolutely mental. Unneeded. Right, I'll play it again. But Tabriz, Amonde, talk to me. Make this make sense, what I'm saying.
It should open up a bit more to defenders if they, with something they didn't do. Going back to Maguire, I think he should have, if he had more, he should have spread the play or at least organised it. From there, Dalot squared him up, pop it, recycle the ball, give it to Dalot and mix it up. Playing it back to that area is just not helpful at all, as it did break down almost.
I'm actually surprised that Martinez I think so it's not when Martinez gets the ball now. I think he actually gets it again. I'm actually surprised that he didn't give it to Onana because again, Onana's decent with his feet to actually look for Garnacho. So I think Maguire passes it here. Okay, spot. Yeah. So if you rewind a little bit, sorry, apologies.
That's all right.
If you rewind a little bit more. Stop. Okay, stop. Sorry. And then so if you play it from here, so Maguire gets to the ball, and then Maguire passes it to Martinez now here, I'm actually surprised that Martinez doesn't give the ball back to Onana for Onana now to open up the play. That's it. So
Yeah.
Garnacho goes slightly onto the kind of halfway line to again open up play rather than Martinez aggressively trying to find that, that kind of passage to actually again try to break the lines. But again, he's just running into traffic. And yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, so like how Martinez just kind of, again tries to break the lines, but
is this coaching?
Again, they just have to reset play. Sorry,
is this coach? Is this coaching? Like because
coaching.
But look here, right? I'll give you an example. Okay, let me take it back. Right, Martinez is in a position here. What you would be looking for as a left-footed centre back is a pass there, or a pass there. Okay,
yeah,
that's the most aggressive things that you can do there. But also, you want your foot on the ball and you want to look at the block. But essentially, you want to break lines here. You've got an option to go to Onana, and you've got a passing network where you shouldn't lose it. Okay? So, if you look at the movements, what you're going to see is you're going to see Casemiro go out here with the aim of taking James Ward-Prowse with him. Like, Alvarez is gonna have to engage. Bowen is going to be looking to cut that pass off to Maguire, and Bruno. What you would want here, right, is you want Kobe going out, and then with all those movements, you've got a big space here. Bruno can come and receive, and if he gets a shout, he can turn. Right? I think that's what the coaching is here. So you see here, this is crazy as a central midfielder to do that. That's absolutely mental because if the ball gets lost, you've vacated that area there. Absolutely mental. I wonder, right, Dalot waits and then he moves into that area there. I wonder if Kobe should be dropping into that area there. Maguire should be moving there. Dalot should be coming back. Garnacho should be coming back. And then we'll have a network to be able to get out here and move that block over. And then, we can look for gaps. We can look for spaces. We can even look for a switch.
That's a safe network to get there, but would it take too long?
Well, we've had this argument before.
Yeah,
you want to move the ball slowly because not everyone in the block moves at the same pace, and you can get gaps. And that is exactly what they're doing. Like you see here, Maguire pauses on the ball. He's waiting to see if Kudos makes that move there. He's waiting to see what the block does in order to break the lines. So, look, they're good boys. They're on a diagonal block, so they have to do less running. And Maguire is just foot on the ball, hoping that there's a space to exploit. But he's got that quality.
He'd have to ping that with his left, though, if he's going to pick out Garnacho from there.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, is that when you put your foot on the ball and you're right-footed, those are your two passes. Okay? Maguire's made that choice to put his foot on the ball. He could manipulate.
Open up his body.
Exactly. And then you got your Elvis Presley hips ready to swing that ball out there. But they don't. It's just, I know they're trying to manipulate the block, but it's very odd.
So do you think the objective here is to move the West Ham players around to be able to play in between them or create your own space to play in between the lines, but also to maybe switch the ball to get in a position where you can switch the ball out there?
Well,
that's what we're trying to do. We're moving West Ham around, and stop it there. That to me, when you talk about the game being narrow these days, and that to me is seems crazy. If you at my level, that's no problem because I can't see the centre back.
Yeah, they can't play that ball.
It comes down again. everyone will be able to get over. But as professionals, you see they ping these crossfield balls, seconds it's in the air for, and it doesn't give you enough time to get over. So I think it's great to see us, Man United, getting in positions like this where we can switch to play quickly. But it's the only person I think is capable of doing it from left to right is Martinez.
Well, like, look,
Yeah.
I mean, what I would say here, right, is I'm right, Fabrice. I'm, because of the fact that I was like, you know, my football education is in Latin America. I'm a huge fan of diagonals. So instead of like a block that faces forwards, what I want to see here is I want Kudus a little bit deeper, Souček a little bit deeper, Alvarez a little bit deeper, James Ward-Prowse a little bit deeper, because what it means is there's less running if they switch it. And here, I don't the only thing I can think of, right, is that this is so obvious that they're trying to tempt Palmieri out here. And when he goes out here, you can play the pass to Kobe, who can play it to Delo, and Rasmus can move off, and you switch the ball through there. Like, I just don't, lads, I don't know. This seems all theoretical to me, because if you're a footballer and you're in this position, you look up and you see where the opportunity to exploit the opponent is, and it's this space here, because you're going to widen the block.
Is it? And again, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here. Is it more of a safer option to literally pass it, maybe 3 to 10 yards rather than making a 40-yard pass, especially at Old Trafford, where if the team or yourself as a
Fabrice, I know you don't believe what you're saying. I know you don't believe what you're saying, because you're saying devil's advocate, and you've seen Maguire going into right back earlier in the show. This isn't about like fear, like, surely.
Well, I mean, so for Casemiro and Maguire to be again in the first clip that you showed, where Maguire was playing almost like a kind of hybrid right back, and then of course Casemiro playing left. This is like something that they've been probably answering your question before. Like this is definitely something that's been coached on the training ground, hours upon hours upon hours, regarding muscle memory, because Casemiro wasn't playing like this at Real Madrid. I mean, I don't think United bought Casemiro to be playing this type of role. So I believe that there's certain players that will quote unquote hide and will literally play the safe pass because of again, you are in front of a huge audience at Old Trafford. Again, it's like it can be a very volatile place. Maybe Harry Maguire didn't in that in like those split seconds didn't have the confidence to make that pass to Garnacho, or possibly could it could have been Casemiro or even Bruno to actually make that diagonal pass to like Garnacho. We don't know, but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
One good thing about it is that what we haven't done, obviously, Man United fans, different for Liverpool. It'd be great to see how Liverpool playing, because you've only lost 2 games, I think, all season. But it's like we've kept the ball in that situation, and we've kind of probing. Like you said, bath time. Martinez getting the ball. He's looking to break the lines, looking for the pass. Same with Maguire. So I like that in the fact that we've got the ball, we're keeping the ball, and for a good sped of play there, and just probing to. And if it's not working out, even though we play a few dodgy balls, I think we can also recycle with the goalkeeper, as you mentioned, Fabrice.
Yeah.
And with Alisson does that as well. Nothing on. Let's start again and recycle and start again and keep probing. It's about keeping possession as well. So that is something different. That animation is something different to what I saw a couple of months ago, where we weren't having passage of plays like that where we had the ball a long time. But obviously it's different for Liverpool. But we're coming from a place of a bad place to sort of try to see just baby steps to see slight improvements. So for me, keeping the ball even for that spell there is good for me. Despite
Right.
even though
Let's
it's
do,
not.
let's do some comments. I'm enjoying the chat, but we've got some lads here.
Okay, so maybe I've said. Oh no, maybe I have to. This is what you said about the team accountability. We spoke about that one already. Okay, here we go. So, hey, Bath Time X account. Do you have one? He wants to message you to talk about the game. DK Wilson.
Slightly concerned he's put a message in quotation marks there, but if you see my profile picture, it will say Darius.ftn. That's how you can find me on Twitter.
And we've got Michael Hill saying, was it a Malaysian bathtub coached? I have a vision of bathtub Parker on at cricket match. It's a Parker jacket.
I played for a third division team in Chile. I've never been to Malaysia. I'm not a coach. I'm a football player.
Any football for a lot of space was created for Garnacho on the right there. He saw that. Everyone saw that. It was wide open, as they say. DK was saying, I was wondering why Dalot didn't pass to Garnacho the first time he received the ball. I think that time was when he came into the central area. Is that right, Tabrice? I think Tabrice mentioned that. Eddie Football for saying, if Ten Hag can finally drill that kind of play into United teams, would be in trouble against our wingers, maybe getting one-on-one situations. Emma K saying here, that sounds like brain farts with others still following instructions, but not thinking where the others are and then not adjusting to their positions. We need to be way more proactive with communication in games. DK Wilson saying, agree with Reece. Maguire has proven he fears certain passes and certain runs. It's always been a complaint with him about Maguire, going back to what you said, Tabrice. And Emma K saying here, thing is, Garnacho can mostly control a bad ball and get it forward for Haaland or Rashford to get it, possibly even back to Mainu as well. So there you go. Thanks, guys, in the comments.
All right, lads. We've been going a long time, but we've got some more clips. Right, I'm just going to make decisions on what clips.
Yeah,
we're going to show. We're going to show some really good defending from Martinez in particular. I've just got to do this first. Please excuse me.
How do you feel about Van Dijk, Tabrice? I mean, you're looking at your defenders and your centre backs, and you've got a new young guy coming through, and I think Konate had a few issues yesterday, didn't he, with the pace of Martinelli, and was caught out a bit. And there's a few calamities going on. I mean, do you think players get to an age where they just can't do it anymore in the Prem?
Well, I mean, we're like talking about Martinelli, one of probably like the best speed merchants with the ball in the Premier League. I think he would have given anyone problems. I think how Konate plays is like very physical. I think he's probably one of the most improved players. I like Liverpool. Regarding Van Dijk, well, if you're kind of talking about the mistake, I mean, it happens. Van Dijk was in control of that situation. For me, he should have attacked the ball first rather than letting it bounce. Yeah, definitely, 100%. But I mean, again, you are like looking at Van Dijk's position, how he actually shielded the ball away from Martinelli in the first place. I think he should have, again, with the kind of composure that he does have, literally just shepherd Martinelli away and then bring the ball out. However, with Becker bearing down on you, you do have confidence in your goalkeeper, especially of the experience and like ilk of like Becker.
Yeah, it's that passing a man off, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? Like it happens, and again, even like our like goal, I could literally give you a rundown how I thought the Arsenal defending was just. I mean, it was dreadful. But we are talking about United, so let's kind of carry on back time.
Yeah, although I have to agree, it's very similar because they're both looking for the goalkeeper to take responsibility. And one thing I'll tell you about Konate, the reason Van Dijk is a better defender is Van Dijk is better at running backwards than Konate. Konate goes forwards too much, and that's why you conceded that goal against Real Madrid in the cup final. But anyway, I'll just leave that as bait. Amondo, talk me through this.
Hold on. I'm passing on responsibility to you, Tabrice. You know our players now. Do you want to run this one?
Well, can you see Tabrice?
Oh.
Yeah, so I
can't believe it. Amondo, this is like Van Dijk giving up like responsibility to
I'll take it. All right.
He's not a guest. You don't get a guest into your house to cook you a meal. You cook them a meal. Come on.
All right, let's get going.
Right, Casemiro's on the ball, 34th minute. Oh, that's wrong.
Enlarged.
That's right.
Let's go. Casemiro, sharp pass. It goes played out by Ben Johnson to Bowen. He pops it into Ward-Prowse. And then on the break here, it's Alvarez. We got cover. He's driving forward, standing up by Martinez. He plays it wide to Kudos. He's one-on-one with Dalot. And there's a runner beyond him, which is the left back. And I remember this. Martinez comes over, takes responsibility, saw the run like he did in the previous game, takes responsibility and gets over there early, does give him time to turn and pinch the ball. So we were caught there, and the defensive line had to stand up and wait. And this is where we got done by Tottenham. Palermo made a great run.
Yes.
Made a great run, which we can't pick up in situations like that. So thank God for Martinez being reactive and coming over, number 5 there, seeing the run in between the channel, between the two centre-backs, seeing it early and going early, and boom, as Tabrice would do, taking the man out and clearing his lines.
All right, I'm going to go through this quickly. Tabrice, jump in whenever you feel right. Amonde has obviously got what the channel is wrong. It's not the space between the centre-backs, it's space between the centre-back.
I did say the centre-back and the full-back. I did say that.
You said the two centre-backs. Right.
I did.
Anyway,
all right. Maybe it's a slip of the tongue. Yeah, sorry.
Start off. This is really good. Players in between the lines. Kobe has run the channel. Excellent stuff. Really happy with everything that I'm seeing here. Casemiro plays a stupid ball. Bruno miscontrols it. There's a lot of people around. West Ham win it. Right. This isn't too dangerous now, because in front of the ball we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they've only got 2 players, so we could be aggressive here. This is a hallmark of Ten Hag, of centre backs being incredibly aggressive, man marking, and trying to stop players turning. Bowen isn't a striker. He's been playing striker this season. Does really well here. Drops it off to James Ward-Prowse. Casemiro makes a ridiculous decision that he makes consistently. He does on Monday. Yeah, he slides. Yeah. It's so annoying. I hate it. He slides. Right. Alvarez gets the ball. Everyone behind Alvarez is out of the game. So we've got Alvarez, Bowen, Kudos, and Johnson. So that's 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to give up the space. We do that. Dalot, good play, Dalot. He comes inside, and then Martinez tells him, I've got it. Get on Kudos. So he gets on Kudos.
Good.
We're okay. Yeah, we're okay here. Like Bowen, not a striker. He should be there. Right? But he's peeled off here. Now, huge shout out to Garnacho. If I take it back a little bit, you can see where Garnacho is there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that Garnacho has broken himself to get back. And now look, this is what you get from inexperienced players. What Garnacho is going to do is he's going to try and stop the pass inside by doubling up with his fullback. This is what every academy will teach you, and only experience can tell you that you should go with the runner here. So,
a good shout, Bath time. Good shout,
yes.
bro.
And our boy here, Martinez,
Mm.
he knows that he's got to close the channel because he doesn't have a runner. Maybe he's got faith in Kobe on Alvarez. I wouldn't. But Martinez, this is reactive defending. This is not an academy player. He goes. A lot of defenders would be there because that's what you're taught to do, and you'd expect Garnacho to follow it. Martinez does not. And he gets across and he clears it, and we have high fives and things. So when I take it back, this guy is a serial Champions League winner and is an absolute fraud here because he takes situation. He is. This big pudding puts everyone under pressure. And he did it in that Bruno clip where he lost the ball as well by making a stupid decision. Also, Martinez is left centre back. It might be a small thing, but that's his channel. When Maguire goes, that is the channel. That is ridiculous. That's as big as the English channel. So Martinez, watch what he does. He moves across. And that is why the load doesn't have to go here. He can go out here with Kudos. I wouldn't say it's incredible defending, but it's reactive defending. And this guy here deserves a huge shout out because of work rate. So did these two here. They're not powerful runners, but they've done their best to get back. What are you thinking, Tabriz?
No, you know what? You are absolutely right. I think Martinez at one stage was the last. Well, yeah. If we're not counting the goalkeeper as a defender, Martinez had a lot of time to actually, make certain calculations or decisions in his mind where the ball was going to go. I think what I kind of like about this clip is there's a lot of defenders, centre backs that would try and play the offside and literally rely on. So literally if you play like the whole clip.
Okay.
You
can tell me when to pause, yeah?
Yeah. So if you can carry on playing it, So yeah, of course, Maguire goes to Bowen. Bowen, like as you said before, does well. So here, Martinez is literally that last defender.
Yeah.
Carry on going. Carry on.
Oh, here,
Stop
the channel
right there.
runner.
Stop. Yeah, stop. Yes. So literally, a lot of defenders would a lot of centre backs would literally, take a chance and literally make that step up and actually hope that the attacker would be offside. But Martinez is a.
Tabriz, where I'm gonna play the clip from here. Where do you think these centre backs would be thinking offside?
Okay, so nothing close. Okay, where's the ball? Okay, so as you're getting into position now, carry on. Around here. So
they scan
before
as that ball's played. They scan there to see the offside.
Yeah. So, but again, I'll have to probably watch the clip in real time in terms of how it is on television. But literally, how like United's back four when the move is actually intercepted, you would suspect right there. So
yeah,
or literally a little bit. You're talking a little bit further back.
You're talking this run here.
Yes. Yeah.
There. Like Martinez moves here instead of pushing there.
Exactly.
With his arm out.
Exactly.
Do you think VAR makes a difference at the top level?
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%. Definitely. I think on the training ground, I wouldn't be surprised if the defensive coaches create scenarios where VAR would come into play. I'd be very surprised if they don't kind of play to that system.
I'd be very surprised, to be, because, like, look, at this point here, like, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the ball carriers, West Ham players. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 United players. Onana, I mean, I'd love to see it in a certain way. He's not going to step up, is he, like Franco Baresi, and take the ball. So here, standard coaching is what you're looking to do is you're looking to force the player wide so that these players can recover. So Dalot, he's got a choice to make. He goes on to Alvarez or he stays on Kudos. In retrospect, I think he's making the move here to get on to Alvarez because he's going to try and get that position there, hold Alvarez up and force the ball wide. Kudos is very fast, but what he's hoping is that as that ball is forced wide, Kobe and Bruno can get back into play.
Yeah.
But, right, so the standard coaching, but Martinez is saying, bruv, I'm on it. You go out here, I'll deal with Alvarez. It's such good defending.
Holding him up.
Yeah, 1v1 situation, they know each other. Don't forget this. They know each other. Like, they were at Ajax together.
That's right.
Martinez, like, a lot of the time we talk about an attacker selling a defender with a dummy. You can do the same thing as a defender. You can drop your shoulder, try and get the guy to commit early.
Yeah.
And that means that Kobe's just got a little bit of time. Bruno's got a little bit of time. And this is just so good because what Martinez, you're completely correct, Monday. He forces the pass out wide. He's done even better than I thought originally. He pushes it out wide. Garnacho, he's as green as a salad. It's fine. This is what you get. No, this is what you get.
I think this is the main focus for me. What I found, what you're going to talk about now, really interested in this. I didn't. Yeah, it's a decision to make, isn't it? And you're saying he's coached to go and double up, but completely left the guy. And yeah, I think that's a great scenario and a good learning thing. But this is where communication comes in. I think hopefully they would pick this up and learn from it. But another thing I'll just add, when you've run, because remember, you gave Garnacho a starting position, he's run 80 yards maybe, running the opposite way and getting back. So when you get to a situation, you can say, all right, I'm going to go double up, knowing the guy's running and not taking responsibility. I don't think that was the case there because you're tired by this point. You come to the end of your sprint. And Emerson's got more about him because he thinks something's on, whereas Garnacho's thinking, right, let me go over and double up so I don't have to take responsibility here. Maybe, but it's
no. I think right. Maybe I've misunderstood, but what Garnacho, right? So Kobe Manu is playing the box-to-box role. Kobe Manu's job actually is to go on Palmieri. But
I think when
he makes the channel run. So
yeah, but he was running with Garnacho, wasn't he, for a long time?
But
So
okay, so right when he stands, so he's Martinez standing Alvarez off, right? Alvarez passes it out here. Now, an experienced professional knows that Kobe cannot pass off Alvarez to Bruno because it leaves Johnson 3 and then Ward-Prowse, and Ward-Prowse can attack the channel and Bowen will go wide, opening the channel. Right? Okay, so Kobe doesn't do anything wrong here. He stays on his man. But what Garnacho has been coached to do is to double up on his fullback and stop a ball into zone 14.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't see the situation because he doesn't have enough top-level experience that Kobe can't pass Alvarez off to Bruno. Right? It's not his fault. It's just experience. So,
But he's running back with the same guy he's just let go, who's gone in to run
Yeah,
on.
so he lets him go because this is a zonal system where he's expecting like what he's been coached to do is get the pass back there. That's everything he's been coached to do. He's not thinking, he's just relying on coaching because he's a teenager, right? He's not like us one day. He hasn't done it for 20 years or whatever. He's done it for 6 years. So he's going off his coaching. Like, it's just what you get with young players. And Kobe cannot go on to Palmieri. But a man who is 26 and has a lot of, almost 27, and has a lot of experience, he understands this. He bails his teammates out and he goes. He goes early. And do you know what? I don't want to diss Maguire, but I don't know if Maguire goes early there.
Yeah, I think De Vries says, I think Maguire might have played the trap or tried to put his shot many times.
And this is just it's not brilliant defending. What it is it is helping your teammates. It is looking at what's going on. It's exactly the same as brilliant attacking play. You know what they're trying to do, and you go and help them and stuff like this. Because Maguire wants to make a 2v1 on Johnson, you know, protect the penalty spot and all this sort of stuff. Kobe, he just wants to get ahead of Alvarez. This dickhead, Casemiro, has absolutely done everyone. I can't, like, what Martinez isn't covering for Garnacho. He isn't covering for Kobe. He's covering for Casemiro. I know a lot of people thought Casemiro played well. Dreadful. Because you're putting pressure on two teenagers by sliding in. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's do some comments. Okay. I just stopped sharing.
So you can see this here. Yeah, so Emma's saying here, the thing is Garnacho can mostly control a bad ball and get it forward to Haaland and Rashford to get it possibly back to Maine. I've read that already, haven't I? Yeah. Right, so the only comment we've got is I hate this positive talk about Martinez when he's out for another 8 weeks, unfortunately. Big up Vincent Bullock as well. I hope you're doing well. And it's 18.
Hang on. Show me Vincent Bullock's photo again. Okay. I thought that was Mark Goldbridge.
I don't know who it is. Who is that, Vinny? Let us know. Yeah. Great defending there by Martin. He's done that in the previous game as well. I remember seeing it. I spoke about it in the show, how he came over and just dealt with it because he had read the game, anticipated what was going to happen. And that I think that comes with experience. Don't you think De Vries is a good defender like that?
If we kind of talk about like the legends that kind of play at like centre back, they all know what goes on in their own 18-yard box. You know, like the 18-yard box is literally their castle, and they know every blade of grass. They know angles, and they know where to shepherd players, etc. So again, it's kind of something that I would expect Martinez to do because he's like been amazing. But something that I also want to just kind of quickly say in terms of what Bathtime was saying about Casemiro. and so I just want to say that being a centre back is a very selfless position. You are doing the work that someone else has refused to do, and it's a role that I think now is getting highlighted, but it's still a very selfless role that just people just do not really understand. And yet this is amazing that you guys are breaking it down, because I'm going to be sharing this with a lot of my teammates.
All right. First of all, thank you so much, De Vries. That's really, really kind. Secondly, never ever listen to a centre back. Like we had Barry on, who was Doncaster Rovers captain. And these bastards were talking about, let's have a competition about how many, as little touches and as little running that we're doing. It is the number 6. It's the midfield that are the heroes. centre backs are always trying to take the credit. It's like it's the midfield that are the heroes. Like, look, you don't hear anyone denying it. You just hear people laughing because it's true. Always rate your midfielders. This is why everyone laughs at McFred. In Ollie's first full season as manager, we lost 2 matches when McFred started. 2 matches. We lost 3 when Pogba, Matic, and Herrera were playing. Always praise the runners in your midfield. Don't listen to these centre backs. They're just about themselves. They're saying they're selfless. They're about themselves. It's the midfielders. Shout out to my midfielders.
Can I just say, fair enough, you're a midfielder, but I do think centre backs see the whole of the game. So the most conversations you'd have, obviously, with you play in sort of units, don't you? So centre backs do have a lot of conversations with the midfielders in front of them, obviously to keep it nice and tight, to drop it. You can tell them left or right. You can orchestrate where they go. You do have to. It's about relationships. So you do have to have a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder what Tabrice would be saying to someone like.
Can I just make a point before you say that, which is that you hear a lot of people talk about the relationship between the left centre back and the right centre back. For me, as a midfielder, that's not the most important relationship. It's between the left back and the left central midfielder, because the left central midfielder has to drop in to that channel to protect the centre back. Like, that's the main unit and stuff like that. So don't be dissing midfielders, because we are, like, you're saying you can see the whole of the game. You're like a guy on Twitter who's just like, oh, this is rubbish. This is rubbish. I'm running my arse off trying to help you, and you're just retweeting stuff. Awful. Go on, Tabrice.
Wait, what was it? The Casemiro sliding, which led to that whole 8-9 players, Man United had to sprint back and desperately try to save the day. I mean, Tabrice, have you got players like in your midfield that are used to the ball and give the ball away? And would you give them hell for that? Because you're the one that has to do the running.
I plead the fifth.
Name names.
No, you know, and again, we literally record all of our games. So, maybe, so maybe I may have to send you the whole footage. But yeah, you know what I think what it is, where Casemiro lost the ball as a centre back, am I going to be giving him what for? Not particularly because of where he lost it. I am now more, bothered about where my left back is, where my other centre back is, and where my number 6 is. And then from there,
it is your number 6, though. Casemiro is. In terms of how United play, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong. If like Casemiro is like so high up, on the pitch, then there should be someone there to actually cover his space or kind of cover his position. So that's the person that I'm going to be talking to, or literally, hopefully they can read exactly where, quote unquote, the danger could actually come from.
Because sometimes what could happen to defenders is that they would forget about how we lost the ball, and they'll point fingers at you for not for getting hit on the transition and not being able to deal with it. Because the worst thing, isn't it, when you got players running at you as a defender, but sometimes you need to relay to them. Actually, you gave the ball away further up, and it's great. You got video evidence these days. Hopefully, you go through it and call people out, and
I'm very
how they improve from it.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you on Monday. I've had too much red wine. I'm feeling much better now. So I captained my university team, and with all the resources and stuff, we got like video evidence. We got like video in, and I'd say it took 45 minutes of the first game before people started cheating. They knew they were being videoed, and all they did was, rather than taking responsibility, they just went and stood next to someone who posed absolutely no danger. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like using the video, because it just gives all people are thinking about is that Monday morning when you go into the room and they show the game about ways you can blame someone else. Like it's a collective. You defend as a team, you attack as a team.
Yeah, but you don't lose, you learn. And that's the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're recording every single game, after a while, the players don't even notice that the game is being recorded. It's all about getting the W. And honestly, I can actually analyze the VO until 2:30 in the morning, and she gets like phases of play that I speak to my captain about. Because again, it's not my job to literally tell the manager. But anyway, I think we are digressing. But no, I'm a kind of firm believer. If you kind of want to build, I'd say a kind of a stronger structure, if you can record a game and have open, discussions as a team, especially if the manager stroke coach actually looks at it and actually writes notes, then you know what, I'm actually all for it 100%.
Well, I'm not, but we can disagree on this, and I'd love to go to half two, talking to all of you. But we're coming up for 2 hours of a show that I didn't prepare properly. We haven't shown all the clips, and we're not going to. But I suppose I would like to thank every one of you that has been watching. I know that some people, conspiracy theorists mainly, say that this channel this program is boring. You want to be boring in your life. It's not an insult. And speaking of things that are boring, I'd love to thank you, Monday, for joining me this evening.
It's a pleasure. It's funny, isn't it? Looks like things turn around. I mean, it's great having Tabrice on. Tabrice, finally you made it. I mean, it's just a bit lastminute.com, like you were turning up late for your game on.
Nice.
But you made it. And Tabrice, the thing is, because I respect your game and I respect your experience and respect your knowledge and what you do with football. Guys, please go and check him out. I mean, they're talking football every day. Great guests you have, great coaches, really experienced guys, and the great panels you have as well. So please, everyone, check out Tabrice, because I know that he plays the game at a high level, and I know that he knows what he's talking about when it comes to football. And I learn from him. I always listen to you say in your analysis of the game. So thank you so much, Tabrice, for joining us, bro. Always happy to listen to you.
I just want to kind of thank you as well, and again, all of the work that you do behind the scenes and bath time. I mean, again, I can imagine how much work that you actually do. Honestly, I'm actually going to share
more about Monday's work behind the scenes. To be honest,
he does a lot of work.
Tell him, Tabrice. Tell him.
Listen,
tell me.
You know what he does. Honestly, he does a lot of work. But you know what? There's a kind of thing about social media and what's on your algorithm, and every time on Monday posts something, it always comes up on my algorithm because he's posting positivity, he's always laughing, he's always and again, he's very authentic with like all of his posts as well, and again,
he's a community man, isn't it? That's the thing.
100%. 100%. And you know what? I will be having you on my podcast, and literally we'll be kind of breaking a lot of things down. But honestly, this has been amazing. I'm actually going to share this with my footballing network, and honestly, these 2 hours have absolutely flown by. I've actually learned quite a bit myself, and I'll be kind of looking at my game slightly differently now, since I know bath time's going to be stalking me somewhere on socials.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I should have actually told you, Tabrice, that if you're uncomfortable calling me bath time, you call me Darius. I should have said that at the start, innit?
I think bath time.
Okay. That's not my real name.
I mean, Tabrice, bath time is jibing me about hard work. I mean, because what it takes for him to go through all the animations, everything else, it's real hard work, and he's determined. He's a perfectionist as well. And if you ever want to talk tactics, drag Bath Time onto your show to talk. Because trust me, bro, you got a little taste of it today. But he's just amazing. We're nerds, but this is like heaven for us.
Yeah, and don't listen to the accent. Amonde always worries about my accent. Like I play football at a good level, right?
Well, I mean, you know what? Once you said you were kind of captaining your university team, I was thinking, what, Eton? You know,
that's the public school. Like that's not a university.
Oh, sorry. Well, there you go. You're okay.
Well, it's important to be.
I rest my case.
But what I will say is, this is my first time meeting Tiblis, and it's really nice. I love his profile picture. It looks like something you find on a cereal box. Like, what a lovely. That's the most forced smile I've ever seen. But like, Tiblis is exactly the kind of reason why our future football director, Dan Ashworth, didn't sign me, because he's strong, he's fast, and he reads the game. And like I'm slow. And these kind of players, right, that still have the dedication. Like you'll be very hard pressed to find people that will say, on Sunday I played a bad game because I wasn't prepared. That says so much about someone. Like what you will normally hear is, I play football, mate. Like, I'm out there. I put predators on. Like some of the people in my team are predators, in it. Look at Dave. But like when you hear someone talk in these terms, like it's someone that I think is worth listening to, because social media is full of frauds. It's full of people that are basically using you as objects because they're lying. And Tiblis goes out every week and shows that he's a footballer. He shows that the community is what matters and why it's important. And never forget that football is for the people, and they're trying to take it from you. So get in, fight, go out, enjoy yourself, and do it. And Tiblis is a great representative of that, and we're so pleased and proud to have him on.
Speech. 100% agree with that, man. And Tiblis is a flipping funny guy. Go and check him out. DK Wilson he's going to say, I'm definitely going to tune into Tiblis' podcast. And obviously, you're on all social media as well. I've caught you on Instagram,
yes.
You're on TikTok and YouTube. You've got a YouTube channel as well. Please, DK Wilson, check it out. Honestly, go back in time. You'll see some great shows there and some great local people. Just say one more thing. Sorry, Tiblis, not to big you up too much, because your head.
Yeah, stop it now. Honestly, please stop.
But what I find like wonderful about you and what you're doing is because you think sometimes there's a big gap between professional players, like a fraternity, pro players and that kind of thing. Some people you can be as good as you can, but sometimes you just don't get in. But the people I've met through you, like Black Klopp and all the characters in London, fantastic. I love it. I just want to be around guys like that. This is the thing. So my football is my social life now. I don't do much. I don't go out that much. But when I'm with the boys, or when we go to the pub afterwards, or even like when I see like band talking, we've got Kespire and all that kind of thing. It's just great stuff, isn't it? It's diverse. Yeah. Everyone comes together, and you're part of the Bet League as well. But
you say Kespire?
Don't stop what you're doing. Don't stop what you're doing, bruv. I love what you're doing. The content is good, and everyone else who's watching right now or watching later will go and check you out as well, and appreciate your authenticity of what you do daily and what football's really about as an amateur footballer. So enough respect to you. Always love. Thank you.
And can I just say one thing? If you kind of probably want some, well, if you kind of want to watch two episodes, I would definitely say watch the documentary that I did with Reece Jackson, who's a former non-league player. That was a very emotional journey, and actually how we shot it as well. We literally shot everything in one take, and again, it was kind of very deep, and also as well, I had someone called Adrian Tots. He's kind of played non-league football, etc. And we started to talk about his football career, and then we ended up talking about him being a fireman and actually being one of the first responders at Grenfell.
Oh, wow.
And literally, yes. So then, literally, of course, like the conversation turns like into his anxiety, like the stress, not feeling worthy, etc. So football is definitely, I'd say, brings people together.
Yeah.
But then when you start talking to like people, like the conversation and the kind of topics that you talk about are just, amazing. And I'm kind of, again, very, very, very lucky that, people want to come on and actually, talk about not only their football careers, but also what's kind of going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend people watching the Reece Jackson documentary and also the Adrian Tops conversation.
Brilliant. I reached out to Coach Mehmet. Is it Mehmet? Remember him?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic guy. I was on one of your shows with him one time. Reached out to him and he said, "Yeah, anytime." But I've never followed it up to go and get hold of him. He's a top. Go up to Newcastle.
Yeah. So, Coach Mehmet was actually coaching Sunday League football, and now he's in the Newcastle United Academy. I think he's coaching the under 14s. But his like knowledge is just crazy, and again, he's such a genuine guy as well.
Yeah.
And again, like it just proves if you kind of know your stuff, if you're prepared to knock on the doors and actually meet the right people, anything can happen. And yeah, he's actually at the Newcastle Academy. It's absolutely amazing.
It's really good. Yeah.
I just like to touch on something that Tiberi said that I've mentioned this before. One of the players that I used to play with, kind of got addicted to painkillers because of what he went through with football. Never forget that when you're playing football at an organized level, like not even like step 6 or something, you're making sacrifices. And when we get people on like Tiberi, like Barry and stuff like that, they've given stuff up to be able to like give their opinion with a bit of warmth, a bit of backing behind it, and like trust these people more than like the social media people, because they go and they do it. And like this channel has a lot of like semi-professional and like ex-professional and like lower league players, but the thing is, honestly, just I don't know, like, just if someone does something, it gives you more credit than someone that talks about it, for me. And it's an absolute pleasure to have someone like Tiberi on, because it's not just that he's good at football, it's he understands the importance of football to the community. And that's what we're about. We're a community. And I hope
that was the first thing he said when we gave him his little summary intro. He talked about the community and growing up and how important that is. Yeah. So yeah, going back to that from the start of the show, that's what he stands for.
All right. Should we like touch each other, or should we end the show?
High five, guys. Fantastic to bring up every time. Bath time, maximum respect. Great show, great hard work. Putting it in, no doubt about it. And we're going to sign out. Thanks to everyone in the comments as well. Big up Darren Tubbs. Thank you again. And make sure you check out Tabrice and check out his channels. We put them up there. You can go and find him now. Do it now while we're signing off. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Check your ringer. Later.
Okay.